So, Alex, your spring break is next week?
It's this week.
Oh, you're on break.
Oh.
Yep, I'm on break.
And we made you record on break. Damn.
Well, I'm in town and I'm just working, so...
Exciting.
Yeah, I have the least interesting spring break plans out of all of us, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. No one ever died from chilling out on spring break. Oh, yeah, so the City Skylines episode was supposed to be happening today, and I thought I was going to be able to do it while I was on vacation because, I'm going to have a couple of hours every night where I'm just, hanging out, waiting to go to sleep.
You thought?
Well, I did have a couple hours every night where I was just hanging out, waiting to go to sleep. But my computer has decided it doesn't like City Skylines again, so I couldn't do anything.
Get pranked. Good plan, though.
It was a good plan, and I was going to, assemble all the slides and stuff on the train.
Yeah. That was a very good plan.
So ready, and then my computer was like, no.
Rip.
Once I get a graphics card, I want to play City Skylines.
It's fun, especially if you can download lots of mods to make it more fun.
And slower.
Yeah. I've been surprised.
Slower.
Minecraft has been running on my awful graphics card. But I've been destroying the server recently. Metaphorically. I've been tearing it up.
Dig in.
Yeah, I've been going to town, if you will.
Ready to go, everyone?
Oh, yeah.
I was born ready. And we got to do claps first.
Oh, yeah, do the claps.
3, 2, 1. 1,
2,
3,
4,
5,
6,
7,
8.
Alright.
Hey, that's 1 second.
That's our best latency of all time.
Yeah, that's really not bad.
The red line when they get a landline, and instead of being latent, we're just crackly and illegible.
Base. We should get a landline.
We can do old-timey episodes.
We can run the landline out the door.
I saw a sign at 1 Market Street. You'll never guess where there's office space available.
1 Market Street.
We can fulfill our promise to the patrons.
Inshallah, someday I can move to the Bay Area. That'd be nice.
Or Boston. The other Bay Area. The Bay Area of the East, actually, if you think about it. The Chesapeake Bay.
They meet all the weather requirements.
I mean, really expensive. Lots of jobs in, advanced industries.
And the weather is fucking nice year-round.
Well, look.
See, the
weather is never nice in Boston.
I gotta say, that's one of the main draws for the actual Bay Area.
Oh, 60 degrees and sunny for 3 days.
Dude,
that's great.
I'm jealous.
And you were in Portland.
It just rained.
I'm sure it did. Just like the other time we were in the other Portland.
Wow.
Well, I mean, I don't mind rain.
Yeah.
Anyway. Welcome to the internet, live from the Marriott Library at the University of Utah.
Are you a musical instrument?
Yes, and a sophisticated, elegant basement somewhere in the Logan metropolitan area.
True.
This is the Red Line Podcast. I'm your host, quote, California propagandist, unquote, Dunstan, and these are my co-hosts.
Kyle, quote, the city is skylining, unquote, Holland, and...
Alex, quote, city council disliker, unquote, Fielder. Today we're discussing 1 big city and 1 small city and the ways in which they're making urbanism work. All this after the news.
Wait. Do.
Wow, Kyle.
I'm sorry, I forgot.
Good save.
Wait, can I ask which city council you dislike, Alex?
Logan City Council, unsurprisingly.
What did they do this time?
So I'm working on a class project which is trying to convince them to build actual protected bike lanes.
Crazy.
But the one city council member who's in charge of setting the agenda, which we're trying to get on, keeps just telling us no and go talk to Logan City Planning, which doesn't have any power because they have to work with the code that the city council passes. So I've been annoyed with city council recently.
You should overthrow them with the
Yeah. No, because what their city council should do is pass something like our complete streets ordinance that gives city planning the leeway and support they need to actually build stuff.
Yeah, it's interesting because I feel like I'm kind of. I feel like we're kind of getting some stuff done up here, but I'm also watching Logan fall apart in front of my very eyes. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'll be moved out soon enough.
Wait, fall apart in what way?
One of the small towns is trying to become an actual town, like designated. And they want to do that to preserve their farmland, but I don't know if that is actually what they want to do, or if they'll just sell it to developers to make subdivisions. But also, if it fails, then Logan City can annex parts of that town and then still turn it into subdivisions.
And then sell their farmland to build subdivisions.
Yeah, so it's fun out here. And then they want to build a second bypass, which...
A second? They're not even done with the first one.
Yeah.
No one uses the first one.
And no one would use the second one either, because everyone comes from the east, goes into town, and goes back out east. No one's going to drive out west to just drive back out east again. So anyway, I'm living a nightmare.
I love how they have the infinite motivation to build bypasses, but zero motivation to build bike things.
Yeah, they're putting in a stoplight on 1000 North and 200 West. Guess how much it costs?
250,000.
Billion.
8 million.
What?
$8 million for one stoplight.
Those things are supposed to be in the hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, and then they're too stingy to give a little money to try protected bike lanes because they're not convinced that people actually use them and they're worth money.
Well, meanwhile, the bypasses, which they shouldn't be convinced anybody will use.
Yeah. But then also... yeah, go ahead.
Visit Valencia Street for 2 seconds and tell me that no one uses protected bike lanes.
Yeah, it's just dumb. And then they're really physically conservative. They never do bonds, they never have loans for the city, which is commendable, but it doesn't excuse not actually spending money on important stuff. You can't just use that as we don't take out bonds, so we can't build important things.
But aren't bonds and stuff how cities do things? We pass, say, our big street reconstruction bond, and then that funds projects up front over the next 20 years, and the people who benefit from those projects then pay for them.
Only because it's the only acceptable way for a city to raise taxes, because you can't raise property taxes, which is what you should do, because that's how you should actually pay for things.
So in other words, Logan needs a revenue stream of some sort, whatever that is.
Yeah, yeah. So instead of taking out a bond to build the new library, the library had to save for 30 years to build it.
See, and that's the title benefit of bonds, is you can have the thing now, and the people who benefit for it then have to pay for it over the ensuing 30 years.
Yeah, so we're working on a 30-year behind schedule.
Or, you could just tax enough to just have the money to do
what I
stuff
do,
what
which
you want.
is become a dictatorship, and then you can do whatever you want using the ill-gotten coal wealth of your country.
What is this, Norway or something?
Oil, but yes. And not ill-gotten.
I'm sorry, what is this? Alternate universe fascist Norway?
Nigeria,
okay.
Well, I'll have to think about that, but that is an option.
You're moving back to Salt Lake, right?
Yeah, well, after I graduate, so.
Nice. When do you graduate?
Next spring, so.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm quite excited. It'll go by quick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, this has been our random tangent into Logan bike politics. Kyle, do the news sound again.
Is it really a tangent? Because it's almost a news item. News part 2.
Kathy Hochul and the state of New York are at it again, and this time she's deployed the National Guard in the subway.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. What the actual hell?
So after a number of high-profile criminal tragedies in the subway last month, New York is acting by deploying nearly 1,000 officers, including 750 National Guard soldiers, to check bags and keep the peace on the subway. My opinion, they must have found oil down there or something, because that's a lot of troops. It should be noted that despite these incidents, the New York subway is safer than it's ever been to ride. Crime is reaching 50-year lows across the country, and NYC is no exception.
Hot takes?
Security theater.
Probably, yeah. Bag checks always tend to be security theater.
Huh.
It's just to, reassure everyone that... Because the thing about the media narrative around safety in cities and on public transportation especially, is that because our media is owned by conservative oil billionaires and people who are friends with conservative oil billionaires, there's always going to be kind of an anti-transit rhetoric in the media a little bit.
Because it doesn't burn enough oil or rubber.
Right. And so crime is really convenient for that because, even though crime happens much more in cars than it does on transit, even the most dangerous transit systems, it's a lot easier to notice the crime on transit because we all forget that traffic violence happens.
Yeah.
So
Again, media. It's whatever makes the news.
What I'm saying is don't shit your pants. It's fine. It's safe. Whatever. Grow up. Losers.
With regard to this specific news item, do we think this is an appropriate use of the National Guard?
No.
I feel like, okay.
No.
Deploying more police to the subway.
Fine.
Maybe even a good idea. Might be appropriate.
I don't know. There's already 3 cops standing in every subway
I know,
station.
right? It impresses me. They have their little podium.
Yeah.
But this is the job of the local police, not of the actual military. We should be demilitarizing transit safety, not the opposite.
Consider maybe we should actually be militarizing transit safety because the military police typically don't kill unarmed black people for no reason. As much.
Hot takes brought to you fresh from the Redline podcast. No, but you look at the flip side of this and transit safety in, other cities that aren't New York. People are rolling out ambassador programs and such because most of transit safety is just having an authority figure present. Yeah, just having someone in a position of authority who can make a presence and keep an eye on things. Heavy weaponry and military training is the exact opposite of what we want.
Yeah, well, what I really need in my subway is a tank to blow up the many, enemy tanks that are attacking my subway.
Ah, yes.
So, anyway, obviously I have to feel bad for the victims and their families and such, but I will say that this is rather silly and probably a huge waste of taxpayer money. But it's the state of New York, so I don't know what anyone else is expecting.
True. Anyways, next news item after that, a bit less action. This one's local. Our own Utah Transit Authority is looking at incorporating fare capping come this April Change Day.
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
I sent it to you on Discord.
Oh, really? I didn't look at that. Or what is more likely is I did see that and I did look at it and then I forgot.
Probably, yeah. Anyways, so this April Change Day, they're obliterating a suspended route in Ogden, which doesn't really affect anything.
Oh, the 650?
The 606.
Oh.
Because it was already suspended, so the damage is already done. So for Change Day, they're eliminating a suspended route and they are leaving some routes at their existing frequency because staffing is still not happening. They're updating their 5-year service plan because they still haven't figured out how to retain employees. We've talked about this.
I have an idea.
Do what? Pay
hours?
Them
more. I mean, the pay is fine.
Hours?
Make the extra board not suck as bad as possible. I don't know.
Make this a job you can survive.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so no changes, no substantive changes to service. No changes at all to service, actually.
Service. Yeah, they did put in there somewhere, Oh, we sure wish we could fix the 218 and 201 and all the other bus routes we fucked
But
over.
wow, we're too incompetent.
Oops, can't retain employees. Very sad.
Maybe they should try.
Maybe, I don't know, fix the extra board, guys. Like, that's the one problem with the UTA at the moment.
Because the bid
ridership is basically recovered.
Despite lack of effort.
Well,
on UTA's end.
Mostly tracks and... mostly rail is what's lagging because it's always been more commuter oriented.
And feeder bus cuts.
But even it is like finally seeing closer to 2019 levels.
So now as we want to scale up service, we need drivers. So fix the extra board because at least from what I gather from your tenure at UTA, the bid-based scheduling system where you get a fixed schedule for 3 or 4 months or whatever works well enough.
Well, it sucked, but it didn't suck as bad as the extra board.
Yeah, but it works well enough. You get a stable schedule. Might be ugly, but you can work with it. Mm-hmm. Such is the nature of almost round-the-clock operations. Go ahead, Alex.
I was telling the people at CVTD about the extra board, and they were appalled by it.
Do they even have one of those at CVTD?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, I guess they have a different on-call system?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't get the job.
You didn't get the job?
No. Rip.
But I think it was a scheduling thing and not they hate my guts. So.
Yeah. Student,
well, if it's any consolation, I hate your guts.
Wait.
I appreciate that.
What are friends for? Anyways, lack of anything new aside, the main change this change day is fare capping. So I will just go over their change day page in brief. I'm sure y'all can read it yourself.
Link in the bio.
Sure, link in the bio or whatever. Anyways, but to start, the fare card fare is going up from $2 to $2.50, so it'll now be the same as the cash fare.
What? Shocking.
Yeah.
What's the point of the fare card at that point?
Well, you get fare capping. The caps are $5 a day and $20 a week for regular fare services. So that's basically
you could cap out at $80 a month, yeah.
Yeah, that's basically monthly pass price. So,
guess when you graduate, you're gonna have to get a fare pay card.
Well, I'm probably gonna get a Hive Pass, but yeah.
Would it make more sense for you to get a Hive Pass or a fare pay card, though?
Well,
because you don't ride transit. Right?
No, I don't. But the Hive Pass is only $42 a month, and it includes Green Bike, which is worth an extra $6 or $7 a month. So. I don't know. I also like having unlimited front runner, even though I almost never use it. It makes me feel better about life.
Makes you feel better about life to just be able to go wherever you want, yeah.
Yeah. Although with capping, this is also suddenly much less of a concern for fare pay card users. Mm-hmm. So anyways, they're setting caps at $5 per day, which is the cost of a... which is the cost of a day pass, and $20 a week, which works out to about the cost of a month pass. And they are also setting a cap for premium fare, namely Frontrunner, of $10 a day and $40 a week. Now, the $40 a week is about on par with the Frontrunner inclusive month pass. Thoughts on the $10 a day cap?
That's a good cap.
I think this will make Frontrunner users feel better about their wallets.
Because what's the maximum fare?
Almost $10 one way. It's like $9.70.
Jeez. So basically, if you're commuting from one end of the line to Salt Lake, you're never going to pay more than $10 anymore.
Yeah, which you may have been doing before. I'd have to check the fare matrix. But
probably
if
you come from Provo is it.
Oh, probably, yeah. Anyway, so that's nice. I think that'll be a good usability improvement for Frontrunner, which was previously pulling a BART and just eating your money.
I mean, look.
It's a model that works. They get good fare box recovery. Also of interest is the reduced fare caps are $1 per trip, which is the same as it currently is for fare pay. There's no increase to $1.25. It's still $1. $2 per day, $8 per week, and double that for premium.
$8 a week? Damn.
It's reduced fare.
I would pay $8. I should
You
get
can.
reduced
It's the
fare.
Hive Pass.
Oh, well, today I learned.
Yeah, you're welcome. Of note is this premium cap also, I think, it doesn't say quite on the page, but I believe it includes all premium services like express buses, not just Frontrunner, which is a huge and very welcome change. Because those
Not that there are a ton of express buses anymore.
No, but they're $5 each way, so one round trip and your cap is full. And you can still get on Frontrunner.
And you can still go get on Frontrunner.
Yeah.
In a weird hypothetical universe.
Yeah. So you can roam the express network freely. So that's the fare capping story. They're also increasing the reduced fare eligibility from 150%.
Oh, and
federal property
UVX
level
you have
up
to pay
200.
fares on now.
Oh yeah, big news. Paying for UVX.
Oh, you mean only 3 years after they were supposed to do that?
Well, and
wow.
all the college students will still get passes, so they can just tap and ride.
Horrible. What a true tragedy. Them having to pull their weight the same as everyone else on the system.
Crazy.
Horrifying.
Crazy. This will likely have a little effect on anyone. What can I say? Anyway, so now if you make below about $30K a year, you can have your reduced fare.
Woohoo.
Woo.
Wow, $16 a week fare cap on Frontrunner for reduced fare.
Yeah.
They all sound like pretty good changes.
Yeah. I'm glad we're hopping on board with the future. Now we just need open loop.
No, that's dumb.
Why?
Because I said so.
Okay, but you're wrong.
Yeah, but I said so anyway.
Oh yeah, did you get the transit card I left you?
I did. I don't know what agency it's for.
It's for all the ones around Portland, Maine. There's like 3. They balkanized
In
the
a
transit.
city of 50,000 people, there's 3 transit agencies?
Well, no, it's for the whole metro area, which is like a couple million.
Ooh. Portland? Maine?
Yes.
How? What?
Sprawl.
How do you have a core city of 50?
Well, there's also South Portland, which is like basically in Portland. And
Portland, Maine metropolitan area. Holy shit. There are 500,000 people. How do you... That's pathetic. Sorry, you guys need to get bigger.
Oh, yeah, sorry, only 500,000, yeah. I thought it was bigger.
Still, 3
Still.
transit agencies for that?
Well, and between the agencies, they only have like 20 bus routes.
Good. Yes, this is a logical...
One
way
of the
to do
agencies
it.
runs, I kid you not, like 3 or 4 routes.
So it's a High Valley Transit moment. Of balkanizing your transit for no reason.
Yes, and also all of these agencies run on an absolute shoestring. On the order of, I think, between all of them, $20-something million a year.
Well, they get more money than VRT in Boise, so that's good.
I guess, yeah. And in addition to that, you also have the ferry service, which they spend about as much on.
Wow.
And actually runs a decent schedule.
Were there... Oh, well, we'll get into that. This has been the news.
Do.
So, this was supposed to be an episode about the urbanism of city skylines, but
However,
then...
technical difficulties.
Yeah, my computer doesn't like me and decided it can't play City Skylines at the moment. So we'll see if and when that happens.
I'm excited.
Hopefully next week, God willing.
Inshallah.
But instead of this, we have now come up with an ad hoc thing where we will tell you about the trips we went on. Because I went... Well, Kyle, where'd you go?
I went to fake Portland,
Portland,
USA.
Maine. Yeah, Portland, Maine. It's like other Portland, but not.
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 In a good way or a bad way?
In a different way.
Oh.
More bad on the whole.
And I went to beautiful, stunning, greatest city in the world, San Francisco, California.
Woo.
Yeah. So now Kyle has like 2 slides here, and you're going to get to see his 4 pictures he took.
Yeah.
And 1 video.
And if I recall correctly, you got in at like 3 a.m. today?
Yeah, I have
and are
been
somehow up and running?
in Salt Lake City for approximately 12 hours.
Did you sleep last night?
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
I slept on the train.
Oh.
And then when I got off the train, I sprinted home as fast as I possibly could.
With your little rolly suitcase.
With my suitcase. And then I went to bed until like 10. So I got like a solid like I don't know, 7-8 hours of
Oh,
sleep
okay.
last
You
night.
got to sleep in a
That's
town.
not
I'm
bad.
jealous.
3 different...
Are you balkanizing your sleep schedule?
I balkanized my sleep schedule, yeah.
I'm canceling you.
Okay, so slide 1. What are we looking at here?
Well, actually, I was going to say we're going from least interesting to most interesting trip. So we'll start with you,
Well-
Alex.
Oh, yeah, Alex. Yeah, what was
Oh
your
yeah,
trip?
we can start with me. I didn't go anywhere. It's actually my break right now, so yeah, I'm loving in Logan.
Wow, exciting.
Yeah, very exciting. I think I got you guys beat.
Yeah.
In terms of, like...
In terms of budget, yeah.
Ooh. Before we go on, hold on. I want to put one more picture in here because I got to show you, like, my activity chart.
Knock yourself out.
Because I am impressed. So I was... Okay, Kyle, but yeah. No, you guys are going to be very impressed because my European roommates were impressed
Ooh.
by how much I was walking. So,
Congrats. You won.
yeah. Okay. But now we go to Kyle's trip, which is the second most... Oh, I think it's almost as interesting as mine.
Yeah, it was more of a vibes trip.
Chill trip.
You did more of a trip. So I will keep my spot in second place. So viewers, the slides are on the YouTube video. If you're listening to this, we'll paint a word picture for you. So we have on screen right now the main narrow gauge railroad. Apparently, in the area of Portland, around 200 miles of narrow gauge track were laid back in the day because apparently it's good at like hills and tight curves and stuff. And
Makes sense.
railroad tycoon moment. And they've kept a bit of the track on the Portland Peninsula for like a little heritage railroad. It's got museums, it's got some little heritage
Did you
cars.
ride it?
It's closed for winter.
Oh,
A lot of stuff is closed for winter there.
boring.
Summer tourism place. Anyway, so they kept a little bit of track. They got rid of this really huge bridge that went across the bay. Had like one of the little swivel things and everything. But that's out of service. That's exciting. The picture is of a crossing between the Eastern Promenade bike path and the railroad. It's very cute because the tracks are like a foot.
It reminds me of those places in Washington Park and other Portland where they have the little park railroad and you cross it on the hiking trails.
I didn't know they had a railroad there.
It was closed for winter.
Oh, that would do. Bloody hell. Anyways, very cute miniature bicycle scale railroad crossing. The other picture is a very nice little pedestrianized, I would say mid-block, but this is a normal city with small blocks. A pedestrianized regular street. Downtown Portland actually has a few of those. There's not really anything happening on them. They just put up some barricades and a service
you
vehicles
were there in the
only
winter
sign.
too.
Yeah, they probably do more exciting stuff in the summer.
Next slide. Oh, we have a video. Let's everyone look at the Foamer video now.
Yeah, I'm definitely not foaming the Downeasterner train at all.
Definitely not. I can see that from the fact that there is a Downeasterner video playing on screen right now. Oh, your voice was in there.
Yeah, my voice in a video. It's not like we mute all of them. Anyways, so if you want to get out of Portland, Maine, for example, if it's winter and everything's closed, the Amtrak is like not actually in downtown Portland. It's about 2 miles west because, get this, the city existed before trains were everything.
Wow.
Yeah. So they made the very sensible decision not to blow up downtown Portland, and they just put the train out on the west side of the city.
And then they did blow it for cars later, though.
Yes.
Okay.
They're giant interstate beltway, don't worry. The Downeasterner stop is, I'm going to keep calling that, that's not what it's actually called, is also right next to the International Cryptozoology Museum, which is the world's only Bigfoot museum.
Bigfoot. Okay, I was like thinking about that for a second. I was like, what is that?
And, all the other monsters and stuff. Bigfoot's the biggest one, though.
Does it have Bear Lake Monster?
That was actually mentioned on a couple of the maps.
Okay.
Not in any depth, though.
Wow, I'm jealous.
It was very cool. Good $10 per person. Would
Did they
recommend.
have a Mothman exhibit?
Yes.
Now I kind of want to visit Portland,
actually
Maine
pretty
to see
good.
the International Cryptozoology Museum.
Yeah, they just have like this little like You know the old retail units that are like really long and kind of narrow? They just have one of those. There's like a partial second floor, but it's absolutely crammed to the brim with little
With just
display
weird
cases and
stuff.
stuff. Like you walk through it at like an inch per minute.
Wow.
And of course, there's a giant Bigfoot sculpture, hair and all. And I believe some of the original plaster castings from back in the day when Bigfoot was cool. Such and so forth. Let's see.
And then the other picture you have is just of the ocean.
That is the ocean specifically off of Peaks Island, which is one of the several islands in the Casco Bay, serviced by the Casco Bay Islands Transportation District.
Which is a ferry.
Several ferries, actually.
Ooh.
They run a pretty darn comprehensive service to all the islands, year-round, passenger, cargo, mail, you name it.
What's the frequency like?
Pretty good. To the islands people actually live on every hour or two.
Ooh.
The schedule's a bit jank because they don't have very many boats, because boats are expensive.
No way.
Yeah. And they will actually do freight and vehicles on the various passenger boats. So the one to the biggest island, you can take your car on for like $80 or whatever.
Oh. Gah. Wow, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot more cars on that island than I expected. I would have expected more golf carts and bicycles, although there's a very healthy bike and ride at the ferry terminal. It's packed to the brim. Anyways, but they also had like these little wheelie carts they put your freight in. So like the grocery store was restocking, and they just got like these little push carts full of like vegetables and toilet paper.
I love that.
Yeah, it was pretty great because that's a lot more cost effective and a lot easier than putting like a box truck on the ferry. Especially because the grocery store is, I kid you not, like 500 feet away from the ferry terminal.
You can just walk it over.
Yeah. So I like that for them.
So that one was a row then.
Huh?
That was a row ferry. Roll on, roll off. Row.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think they only have one of those.
Oh.
Most of the services, they run normal ferries that are cheaper and don't require
People
God's most
ferries,
expensive
yeah.
docks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or doing the whole ramp every time you dock. Yeah. Anyways. Very affordable fares, too, I'll add. It's like $4 each way.
Oh. I wish, because we'll get to this, but the ferries in the Bay are not cheap.
Oof. Although I do add they about double prices during summer because tourism season.
Ah. But can you get, like, reduced price if you're a resident? I feel like that should be a thing.
I don't think so, actually, but they do have, like, multi-ticket ones that are pretty steep discount. And they actually have, on the biggest island, a priority system for residents for when the boats are just overloaded with tourists.
Very smart.
Yeah. So, honestly, pretty well-run ferry system, and it gets about as much funding as the bus system. Or the 3 bus systems.
I wonder, okay, I'm going to look this up real quick.
The Casco Bay Islands Transportation District.
Bay Islands Transit District. Can you look up the other transit districts, Kyle? I want to look up the ridership of these things.
All right.
Oh, there's no ridership listed on here. Never mind.
I just got mine off the FTA agency reports.
Oh, you have...
State. Portland. Wait, that's not a state. Maine. Okay, you know how everything here says Utah on it? Mm-hmm. Everything there says Maine on it. It's kind of funny.
Was there a reason you picked Portland, Maine to go to?
Plane tickets are cheap, and it's basically on the NEC.
Okay.
It's not basically on the NEC. Don't give me
It's
that
on the
shit.
part that would be on the NEC if there's a damn train tunnel through Boston.
True.
So linear transfer in Boston, but
It's basically on the NEC. Casco Bay Island Transit District.
Yeah.
2022 ridership. Almost 1 million. Holy cow.
it's a very serious ferry system.
With 5 vehicles.
I told you the schedule is a bit jank because of that.
Wow. And they only spend... Yeah, $20 million. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed with this.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like they're recovering ridership quite well. Interesting. Okay, what's the bus system?
The main one is the Greater Portland Transit District, which gets 1.2 million trips a year.
Oh, so the ferries are carrying like almost as many people as the buses. Well, and that's good, but also like, ugh.
Really, it says that the bus system should be bigger.
It's 500,000 people. Anyway.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
no. Very, very nice ferry system. Pretty decent shoestring bus system. You know how shoestring bus systems are.
Any closing thoughts on
Fake Portland.
fake Portland?
I will say that the geographic constraints of downtown Portland, that being it being on like this tiny little peninsula, and peninsula, like it's like this big blob with like a land bridge going out of it, pretty much, have made for a very nice and very compact downtown. I thought I'd be using the bike share and the buses more. Made it on like 4 bus trips and didn't even touch the bike share because you can literally just walk everywhere.
Nice.
Yeah, that's nice.
So you stayed downtown then?
Yep. Walking there, pretty nice. They are very good at putting crosswalks everywhere. Like, pedestrian safety measures, this ain't Hoboken. But almost anywhere you can legally cross the street, they have striped a crosswalk. Which kind of weirded me out, especially on some of like the bigger and busier streets. And the drivers there seem to do their part, mostly. A lot better than they do here.
Apparently the tallest building in Portland, Maine is 204 feet tall and
Yeah,
is
that checks
apartments.
That checks
The
out.
second is a Catholic church.
Yeah, that checks out.
Well,
They have a key bank building.
of course they have a key bank building.
Everybody has a key
Every
bank
small
building.
town has a key bank building.
Yeah.
Okay,
On to the next trip.
San Francisco, California, the greatest city on earth, the city that never sleeps, the city by the bay, I don't know.
The city that goes to bed at 3 a.m.
Every time I think about this place, I get more California pilled. I gotta be real with y'all.
There is a
like,
reason housing in California is expensive, and there is a reason
There are two
California has
reasons.
the population
There are-
of like a country.
There are 2 reasons that housing in California is expensive.
That's true.
Number 1, everyone wants to live there.
True.
Number 2, they won't build any.
Yep, that would do it. Just textbook supply and
So,
demand.
you know, that's a skill issue. This is my average. This is my graph of my activity of walking.
Nice orange circle.
The tallest one is 32,000, I think.
32,000 steps in one 24-hour period.
Uh-huh.
I'm impressed. That's
So
a
I was
lot.
averaging like 20,000 steps a day.
Nice.
I walked on that day 30 kilometers, I believe, which my European... I had these European roommates, and they're like, you know, bigger walkers than we are over there.
Yeah.
They were impressed with me, so I can say that I would fit in Europe in my ability to walk extremely long distances.
I wish I wish hotel vacations were cheaper because they work wonders for your like physical health.
Fitness, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I spent $40 a night on my hostel, so...
Damn. That's really good.
That's
I
good.
know. If I hadn't had to buy a plane ticket because of a really big storm in the Sierra Nevadas a couple days ago, it would have been like $250 housing and transportation for the whole trip. Yeah, the train on the way back was fine, but on the way there was like 10-foot
or
snow
whatever.
dump. Same thing that happened to us last year, actually.
They should do something about that.
And so I flew. I had to take a reminds me, I had to take a transfer to get the cheapest flight via LAX.
Oh, I'm sorry.
LAX is terrible. Just the worst airport. There's the international terminals are really nice, but the rest of it is a dump. Like, just bad.
Hey, at least you didn't have to leave LAX because that would have been even worse.
That's true. However, I did have the consolation of getting to see the greatest plane ever built. The Lufthansa 747 there on the left.
Wow.
I know, isn't it beautiful? And then I also saw a Korean Air, what is that, A380, which was cool.
Bougie.
And then I could tell that our Twitter discourse is influencing the national discourse because there was a sign that says West Coast, Best Coast in the airport,
It's
Which-
broken containment.
which was great. The other thing I should say, SFO,
And you can actually get to it alive.
oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's like Salt Lake Airport if it was in a place that doesn't suck. But, yeah, But then I visited this lovely, beautiful, greatest city on earth, as I keep saying.
Huge.
I think that Kyle and I were there about this time last year.
Cable car foamer.
I am a cable car foamer. I rode the cable car, even though it's a dumb tourist thing to do.
Hey, if you get the month pass.
I've now ridden 2 out of 3 cable car lines, so I'm saving
Wow.
one for next time. But yeah, I must say I came away with a more favorable impression this time than I did last time.
Why do you think that is?
Because it's gotten better.
Interesting.
Because
In what way specifically?
they seem to be taking the safety situation around mid-market seriously,
Well,
which
that's
I think
nice.
is important. Like Civic Center, last time we were there, the BART station in particular was a little bit iffy.
Mm-hmm.
And this time it was fine. I went through like 4 or 5 times. So that was
Cool.
a dub. Yeah.
Cool.
Speaking of BART, got a video. Wow, look at that. Didn't get to see any of Heritage units this time, unfortunately, because they are now all out of service, and the final ride on them will be in April.
Ah, rip.
I know.
Hey, you should have put these on the second channel and just make them public for the hell of it.
I did put them on the second channel, except this one.
Oh, I was going to say that's the wrong picture.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I put this one on the main channel, but it's unlisted.
Oh, okay.
I might move it over to the second channel.
You should.
But let's start with talking about BART. Now, Kyle will remember that last time we were there, we came away with a not too great impression of BART, of us preferring Muni to BART, thinking BART was like a little bit weird.
The trains were nice. I was really weirded out when somebody got into the train car, did an entire-ass dance show with a loudspeaker, went back and forth for tips, and then left.
Yeah, and I gotta say, again, like, BART has just, like, leaps and bounds better. Like, there's personnel everywhere, everything was really clean, everything was on schedule. I was much, much more impressed with BART, so I now have a favorable impression of BART now.
Well, that's nice. Good to hear a follow-up from the news items we've been covering.
Yeah. No, whatever all the stuff they've been doing works. And I saw some of the new fare gates in action.
Oh, the double height one?
Mm-hmm. Nobody jumped them.
Cool.
Yeah, they
Cool.
were in Richmond where I saw them. So that was kind of interesting. Still a lot of people jumping the gates in downtown San Francisco.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Yeah.
I'm surprised there's been that much change in just a year. That's good to hear.
Yeah, me too.
I think it's also partially because they've moved exclusively to using 6 and 8 car trains instead of like the super huge 10 car trains.
Right, so there's more
So there's
people
a lot
per car,
more people in your car,
which is good for transit
which
safety.
makes me feel better about
Yeah.
it. It doesn't feel like a ghost town in there anymore.
Yeah,
And I was on a couple really busy BART trains. Like,
but probably could have used
Packed.
the 10 cars.
yeah, and that was on the yellow line too, which is the one they increased frequency to 10 minutes on. So, anyway, I was actually really impressed with BART this time, and I was not impressed last time.
Cool.
So, yeah.
How are you liking riding all new cars?
They're much quieter and better, so I have
Yeah,
nothing to say
so
on
much
that.
quieter.
Continuing on the topic of trains. Oh, come on, don't be dumb. Another video here for us. Look at the extremely weird, like, tight curves that these things
Why
take.
do they make the curves so tight?
Well, that's getting it out of the yard, I believe.
Oh, well, that's fine then.
Yeah, I rode the entire J Church this time.
Wow.
More like the J Snurch, am I right?
It wasn't that bad.
Take
It's
me to
not any.
Snurch.
Oh, it's not any worse than any of the other.
No, I didn't mean to hate on the line. I just think Snurch is funny.
Yeah. So I would like to state, since we didn't visit this, we didn't really ride the T-Third except the Central Subway or the part of the N Judah that's on the Embarcadero last time.
True.
I rode it. It's fine.
Just another streetcar. It goes.
No, the part that's on the Embarcadero is actually quite good. Like, that's pretty good street running. The T-Third is... They need to fix the transit priority on that, I will say. It's a little bad. But let this be a lesson to you. If anyone tells you, oh, we need to do low floor light rail because it's more accessible from the street, No, wrong. You're stupid and should be quiet.
We should instead have a platform.
Yeah, no, there's all along the Embarcadero, and it doesn't ruin the public space because this is, a very famous street where there's a lot of people walking and biking. Oh, you're going to ruin the public space by having a high platform. Wrong. Lies. Deception. It's fine. High floor light rail everywhere.
With the platform.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy, am I right?
Yeah. Also gives me, real fourth south vibes right here in this picture on the left where there's, sketchy little bike lane.
It's not Please tell me this is a one-way and that's not a median bike lane.
No, it's a one-way.
Okay.
Yeah, because you see on the other side of the street, there's the road, there's, the uni platform there.
Yeah.
And then on the other side of that, there's another 2 lanes and a bike lane.
All right, then.
So, yeah. But the rest of Muni street running
is Muni street running.
Yeah. I don't know what to say. I rode the El Taraval bus because I wanted to see what the new improvements look like.
More like El Terrible, am I right?
Well, yes. They have, despite rebuilding the entire thing at a relatively high cost, kept their thing of doing a stop every 2 blocks, which is not great.
Spread out the stops.
Really.
You can math this out. There is an optimal stop spacing that minimizes travel time for the average passenger.
I know. But they like to pretend like... And this is why, everyone still calls the Muni Metro when it's in the Sunset or, the South City a streetcar.
Because it is.
I was sitting in the Muni 28, in traffic because it was rush hour and I made a very poor decision. And this old lady was trying to give directions to this tourist couple who wanted to get to the beach. Because the 28 is the kind of north-south line through the Sunset. And she's like, well, you can either get off at Geary and get on the 38, which is pretty fast, or you can get off at Judah and then take the streetcar. But I should warn you, it takes 3 times as long. They got off at Judah.
Isn't the bus on Geary the one in the COVID bus lanes or whatever?
Yes, and there's also a rapid bus there.
So what if we had a streetcar lane and we had less damn stops in the streetcar?
I think it's mostly just the less than stops and the fact that along a lot of the L and the N, there are stop signs that the train has to stop for.
What if we paid for a traffic signal?
I don't know. If I were, the Integrated Public Transportation and Roads Department of the City and County of San Francisco...
that's ultimate
that
power.
Can do whatever it wants, I might consider fixing that. And making it a priority given that the N Judah is the most recovered Muni Metro service because it is so goated. So, anyway.
You could probably save money by making enough of those improvements to actually reduce the number of vehicles required to make round trips.
You actually could save money by doing that.
Say you have to have 8 vehicles continuously operating on a line. Obviously, this is probably way under. And then you make enough travel time improvements.
There's 8 vehicles going in one direction on the N Judah.
All right, so say you have, 20 vehicles, and you make enough travel time improvements, so you only need 19 vehicles.
Or 16, maybe.
Sure, and you spend a few million on improvements, but then you make that up in operating savings in no time at all. Because operations are expensive.
Yeah, who would have guessed that? But I still think the N Judah is the best transit line in the world. However...
You may be a little bit biased.
If they would remove every other stop, that would probably be a good idea.
Probably. Again, optimal stop spacing to minimize travel time for all users.
The stop spacing on that thing is bad for a bus. And this is a light metro / streetcar / light rail that carries 30,000 people a day.
Very slowly.
So, yeah. However, the subway remains undefeated.
Always.
I mean, the Muni Metro is I think I may be wrong in saying this, but I believe that the Market Street subway is the most frequent transit, if not in the world, then at the very least in the Americas. Because you have a Muni Metro train coming like every minute and a half.
That alone.
And then you have the BART, which is running, let's see, 3, 9, 15 trains an hour.
So every 4 minutes?
Yeah, so you have like, I don't know, 50 trains an hour going through there.
Yeah.
Which is a little insane. But I kid you not, I don't think I waited, except on Saturday, for a Muni Metro train ever.
Yeah.
Which is
Based.
quite nice, I will say. Like, you always just walk down into the station. Up, there's a train.
Yeah.
The very worst, you have to wait for the next one because it's not going to the place you want it to go. But
yeah.
Yeah.
Still, very good, very good.
Subway rules.
Subway.
Finally visited the Forest Park station, which is quite cool.
What's that one?
It's the old one from when the Twin Peaks tunnel was originally constructed.
Oh, yeah.
It looks very much kind of like almost like the New York subway. You can see it in the upper right here. It's like got the tiling and stuff. It's very fun. And then West Portal is here, which is a really cool station I hadn't visited before.
And it's by the West Portal of the
it's the West
tunnel.
Portal of the tunnel. You'll never guess that.
Yeah, that is a cool looking station.
Mm-hmm. And it's kind of fun that it's halfway underground and halfway above ground. And there's a park above it, too. Also, the buses just... Man, you never wait for a Muni bus, either. Like, unless you're taking some weird out-of-the-way route, like, you just don't wait for a bus.
Yeah.
And that's nice.
This is how
I think we should maybe adopt that.
This is how you run transit in a big city.
Like, I waited probably more for the 4 this morning than I cumulatively waited for a bus the entire weekend, the entire week last week. So, and they're trolley buses, so, very environmentally friendly, which is also good.
Yeah, and they shut up because electric.
They're very quiet, yeah.
And they don't obliterate the road because no battery.
Yeah. Which brings us on to slide 12. Discussing the world's most overbuilt bus terminal ever.
Overbuilt is an understatement.
Yeah.
I always wondered if they had to, blow some stuff up to build this terminal, but they just blew up the old terminal.
Mm-hmm.
Because the old terminal was also bloody huge.
Mm-hmm.
So they just made this one that's, huge and tall.
Modern.
And, modern, and has concrete that cracks and all the
And it has a really nice park on top of it, which we'll get to in a second.
That is true.
But I must say, I didn't remember that much from this thing because we only visited it once to take the F across the bay last time we were there.
Night.
Yeah, at night.
And we did not go to the park.
No, we didn't go to the park.
Did you go to the park?
I did go to the park.
How was the park?
We're going to talk about it in a minute, but I want to talk about the terminal. It's cool. It's like new Port Authority bus terminal level of infrastructure. Serving, downtown Boise level of service.
Did they really just not have that many buses?
There are not. Look at the departure screen on the bottom left of the slide here.
Yeah.
There is not a lot there.
I guess they're going for the you build it once mindset because
eventually CHSR and stuff is going to come here and there's going to be more. But right now it's just like a very impressive monument to man's hubris.
Bus infrastructure is bloody hilarious.
Right, and it has this huge bridge, top left, connecting it directly to the freeway.
Which is so smart.
And there's 2 buses an hour going over it. There's more than that, but not by that many.
Bus infrastructure is funny. I can comprehend a downtown subway, the Market Street subway, absolute feat of engineering, but it's just this little line that goes under one street. Once you get to bus infrastructure at this sort of capacity, it's just God's largest multi-deck building with all these weird ramps and twisty things and bridges, and buses are funny.
I do like the departure screen though. I think that when there is a lot of buses here someday in the future, that will be very useful.
Yep.
It was useful for me because I thought I might go to Treasure Island, and then I decided that was a stupid idea. So,
Thanks to Parcher's screen.
yeah. Any more thoughts, anyone?
I don't have any thoughts.
Alex?
It's really, really cool.
It's very pretty.
I'm secondhand foaming during this presentation.
Good news for you, Alex, because we are going to the San Francisco Bay Area in the fall.
Huh?
Caltrain.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's not open yet?
No, but it will in the fall.
Cool.
And apparently the very first electric trains were being tested at full speed while I was there. So.
Exciting.
Yeah. Park. The park. I don't know how anyone has missed this.
That's bougie.
It is so underrated. It is so nice. Like, there's a whole bunch of nice open spaces. You can just sit and read a book. There's like a little cafe. There's some coffee shops that open onto it. There's a playground. Like, there were a whole bunch of people there. And, like, apparently everyone is just not paying attention to it. But they should, because it's really nice. Like, you can just walk around, and it's way quiet, too. Like, most downtown parks are really, really loud because you got all the traffic around.
All the way above the
traffic.
But
it's above, and there's a sound wall around the whole edge of plants and stuff. So it's really quiet. It's like a great urban oasis, and I think we need something like this here.
This is a pretty good idea, especially given just the sheer amount of land that this terminal takes up in such a valuable location.
Yeah.
That we can have the terminal and a park instead of one or the other.
Oh, and there's another fun thing about it, too. It has a water feature. It has a dancing fountain that goes around the edge of it.
By the sound wall?
Yeah, by the sound wall.
Bougie. And
fun.
there's chairs so you can watch the water feature / sound wall.
Right, and I just sat here for like, I don't know, it was my chillest part of my first day.
All right.
Sat in the lower left picture, reading a book for like an hour.
That's the hallmark of a good park.
It was so chill. Like, this thing is great. So, highly recommend maybe an underrated tourist attraction because, like, you get up close and personal with all the skyscrapers as well. So, yeah.
Yeah.
That brings us to our final mode of transportation for the day.
The ferry.
I see why
Bart.
it has fully recovered.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's nice and it's fast and the views are great. So I would just, once again say that I think ferries are the best mode of transportation and leave it at that. Next slide. Okay, so here we have a slide that says, San Francisco NIMBYs will kill you and your family to keep this from becoming apartments. And it is a picture of the two ugliest houses you have ever seen.
Every city has its old housing stock.
Theirs is just ugly as fuck.
Yeah.
It's bad.
That is hideous.
Especially the one on the right. And get this, both of these are less than a 5-minute walk from a light rail station.
And are presumably not in very great shape because they're so old.
Mm-hmm.
And presumably you could provide housing for cheaper by building something brand spanking new.
Well, and the thing is, like, here's another slide. Of the one part of San Francisco where they have been allowed to build housing in the last 20 years.
Yeah?
Mission Bay. And it's nice. Like, look at all the nice apartments. Look at the housing
Look
towers.
at the nice places to walk and vibe.
Yep. It's very nice. And, like, the only part of the city where I saw a lot of families. Like, a lot of families. Like, walking around.
That's good to see in a new development. Because a lot of new developments, cough, cough, Salt Lake City, cough, cough, fail to hit that market segment.
And, like, you'd see families and, like, kids in other parts of the city.
Yeah.
But normally not at that time of the day. Because this was just, like, before noon. And there were just tons of families out and walking around. And it was on a work day as well. So
that's very good. That's very healthy for the city.
Yeah, I think that people should remember that San Francisco has built housing. And it's really nice. And they should just keep doing that so people can afford to live there. Because there are obviously parts of the city that are, like, worth being preserved in their current form because they're historically significant.
Sure.
But they don't look like single-family housing. They look like, 3 to 4 stories of apartments over shops.
Yeah.
In the case of, like, some of the hillier areas with giant housing towers from the 70s mixed into it.
Yeah.
And no one cares.
And you also don't need to preserve 100% of this like it's gold. You should preserve what is valuable. Like, one building might be, like, a very well-maintained example of a historical architectural style. One building might have some
Okay, well, let's look
important
even in
local
this
shops.
picture here on the left, right?
Yeah.
We have kind of in the very farthest left this green building.
Uh-huh.
That is clearly built fairly recently just to resemble the style of the others, whereas the other ones are built in older times.
See,
So
that's healthy historic preservation. Keeping the parts that matter and upgrading the ones that don't or are falling apart.
yeah. So, I don't know. Obviously, I can understand being NIMBY about, like, some parts. Like, you probably shouldn't be building, like, 600-story tower in the middle of the Castro, as much as I would think that was funny. Because it has historical significance and such, or
Sure.
whatever. But, I mean, to be fair, they did just do that in the middle of Nob Hill in the 70s. Like, you look up on the hills,
Yeah.
and there's just towers there, just
like,
in the middle of the old housing stock.
Okay, cool. Towers. Next.
Yeah. So, I don't know. You could just build some housing, guys. That would be good.
Yep.
And that's my whole slideshow.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Jolly good show.
Well, yeah. I liked it. It made me very envious. It looks
Well,
nice and
good
warm
news
there.
for you. The weather was great. I mean, every time I think about San Francisco, I become more California-pilled. I say this.
There's a reason people live there.
The reason it costs $1 billion. Yeah, 60 degrees and sunny all 3 days.
Dude, the flipping good weather tax hits hard.
Yeah, I know.
Like, Chicago's
know.
a nice city, but the weather's shit.
Yeah. Utah's now the third most expensive housing in the country, right behind Hawaii and California.
Like, relative
Nice.
to income?
Pardon?
Like, relative to income? Or
Yeah,
whatever?
relative
Yeah.
to income, yeah.
Ouchie.
Yep.
I didn't know
We
it was
beat
that
New York.
bad. I thought we were like doing pretty okay.
No, it's bad.
No, we're
Great.
doing shit.
Great.
We're doing really piss poor.
So if you're already going to be spending a huge proportion of your income on housing,
May as well
why
live
not
somewhere
do
nice.
it somewhere that isn't garbage?
Yeah.
You make a very good point.
And, like, for those who are... Let's go back to my first slide, because it's the one that shows the whole city. For those who love to kvetch, that's a word, Kvetch, it's Yiddish. It basically means bitch. But for those who like to kvetch...
New YouTube approved swear word just dropped.
For those who like to kvetch about, San Francisco dying, no, wrong, you're stupid.
The housing would be cheaper if it was dying.
What? Oh, God. I would move there already if the housing was cheaper because it was dying.
Yep.
No. I mean, look, I'm not going to pretend like the Tenderloin is nice, because last time I just didn't go through there because I was just like, well, better not. But this time I did just because I wanted to, like,
Experience it firsthand.
see with my own 2 eyes. That's bad. That's not good.
Uh-huh.
And, there's some spots in the mission that are a little, like, too. But pretty much everywhere else I went in the city, like, and I mean this, like, you walk, like, 2 blocks and there's a random commercial cluster with 1 billion people on the sidewalk everywhere.
Nice.
Like, Hayes Valley is poppin', all down by the marina, North Beach, in all the different little commercial clusters in the Sunset and in kind of more southerly parts of the city. And the Mission, like, everything was popping except for the financial district and the Tenderloin. So, maybe build some housing downtown and build enough shelter for all of your homeless people, and
Dude.
then you have solved most of the problem.
And also have housing in general that is affordable so you don't end up making more people homeless.
But, like, I will say, like, claiming that the city is dead is a very stupid move and clearly only comes from people who either never go there or only drive downtown to see a play once a year.
Yeah.
Because everywhere that is not office-y is just insane.
What is it with conventional business districts? Like the tip of Manhattan, for example, just feeling like big, echoey, empty rooms of giant buildings during the day.
Yeah. That's just kind of how CBDs are.
Maybe we could put housing and stuff to do.
That would be interesting, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, man. We missed out on where we went last time. We missed out on some real gems of places, so...
Well, same time next year?
Sure, why the hell not?
Yeah.
This time next year, I could be planning on moving there. Oh, wow.
Spicy.
But no, this time in the fall,
Yeah, all right.
we're going to see Caltrain, so...
This time in the fall. This time is the time of year.
Kayate.
Was that
Midway through the semester.
Okay.
So... Yeah, this has been my episode of me trying to throw something together. I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah.
All my pictures.
A trip report with slides.
Yeah, for those of you who enjoy watching our footage on YouTube, you're going to get some real good stuff because I have a full ride of the J Church and a full ride of the California Street cable car available. So.
Hype.
Mm-hmm. Any last comments before I kill the thing?
No. I still think I had the most interesting break, but your guys' were pretty good.
Yeah, we'll put it out to a vote on Patreon. I wonder if they have a poll thing. They probably
I'll
is.
put it on Twitter.
Oh, I'm sure
Okay,
they do.
great. Twitter poll. Thanks.
So please remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, and to follow and leave us a rating on iTunes and Spotify. If you like what we do here, please consider becoming a member on Patreon. Patrons receive early access to all of our regular content, as well as occasional exclusive content and merch drops. Speaking of patrons, okay,
Miracle.
at Bart apparently tier.
At Barded with the Sauce tier.
Barded with the Sauce tier, we have Zach Adams, $69.69 per month. At Market Street Subway tier, we have Generic GT at $35 a month. At
Muni is a Metro tier.
Muni Metro tier, we have Curtis Herring, Devin Zander, McKay Ransom, Mike Christensen, Phobos2390, Tony Stunts, and that's it.
And at every Muni bus route tier, we have...
At $5 a month, we have Brian Smith, Christopher Whaley, DJ
Hi, Will.
Watkins, thank you, Elijah Kinsler, G4, Jacob Whitecotton, Jesse Mayo, Reluctant LA Resident, and Robert P. Walsh.
Thank you all. And at all the other balkanized transit agencies in the greater metro area.
Caltrain tier.
Fine, Caltrain tier. We have Alex Dykelski, Alice MYOB, Ben Busath, Bradley Bondi, Ethan McDonald, Evelyn, Gavin Grotigut. I don't know how to pronounce that. Feel free to message us on...
Grogut?
I don't know. Message us on
that's
Patreon.
not the right
and we'll say it
pronunciation.
right next time. Thanks. Gonzo12, Jack McCoskey, Martine Hecker Martinez, who we did ask how to pronounce their name and got an answer, and now we get it right. I hope. Matt Gray, Oliver, Sam Myers, Seth, Sky Lukowski, and Zach Verstala.
And at, what tier is this? Central Subway tier. Which, that's something I should actually say before we go.
Yeah?
You remember how it was like sleepy and no one was riding it last
Yep.
time we were there? Nuh-uh. Not
Packed.
anymore. Packed. All the old Asian American people going to Chinatown using that sucker. It is
Cool.
busy. So,
Have they increased frequency yet?
no.
Damn. 2-car train every 10 minutes in that thing.
Yeah, standing room only every train I was on. So
Maybe they should have more of them.
maybe they should have, I don't know, built it for 4 cars or something.
Great. Did you see where everyone was getting off? Were they transferring to Central Subway, or are they going further?
What do you mean?
Like, were all the people who
A
are...
lot of people transferring from Market Street
Yeah.
at Union Square to Chinatown. Also, a fair number of people going further south on the T.
Okay. I was wondering, because if there's a lot of
I
transfer
know it's
people, you could
probably
run...
not living up to its expectations of ridership because largely BART isn't feeding into it, and neither is Caltrain as much as it should. But it's getting used.
Maybe because it's so far away from BART.
Well, also BART has 45% of its pre-pandemic ridership.
Yeah.
And Caltrain has 30%, so...
That'd do it. I was going to say...
But anyway, at Central Subway tier, Benjamin Wood, John Heron Gorman, Andrew Levine, Joshua S. Horvath, and Kapil. Continue.
I was going to say, if there's a lot of transfer ridership, then maybe it would be worthwhile to run higher frequency on just part of the line if they're unable to do that on the whole line.
I don't know if you can do that at Union Square. I don't know if there's crossovers between...
They probably didn't build that.
There might be.
Maybe.
I would have to look, but
a little pocket track.
That seemed to be I don't know, at least 2/5 of the ridership was people going from Powell to Chinatown. So
they could put a pocket track or something at the Caltrain stop and just amp the frequency to hell between Caltrain and Chinatown.
Although what I will say is that the most painful section of the entire T-third is the section between Yerba Buena Moscone, which is the first subway station, and 4th and King, which is where it meets with Caltrain.
So really maybe they should work on that part.
Yeah. Really, they need to use their status as the integrated public transportation and roads division
we do what we don't want
the city and county of San Francisco to do whatever they want and build make their light rail better.
Make their light rail great again.
Their light rail, which is recovering faster at the moment than any other Muni service. Because it's still better than the buses somehow.
Muni is funny.
Yeah. Love you, Muni.
Yeah.
Doing God's work.
Yeah. On G.
My real hot take is that they should build a Van Ness subway.
But they already did Van Ness.
Yeah, with God's shittiest BRT.
Hey, it's pretty nice BRT.
Yeah, but slow. Because it makes a stop every 3 blocks.
So maybe they could just blow up some of the platforms.
I mean, it's better than a normal Muni bus, which makes a stop every block. However,
bus. And the way they did the median running is really cool, objectively.
Oh yeah, no, that's great. It just is packed all the time, so...
Muni, when they make a functioning transit system and then people ride it.
No. Wild. Love Muni. Yeah. I'm like that meme of the guy grilling, love Muni, love bot, just want to grill, innit?